Hey guys, Scott from MuscularStrength.com. Since I started doing full body training, I've been able to experiment with a lot more other exercises because there's really no set progressions here, right? We're not trying to increase our weight on every single exercise week to week. It's more about overall volume attacking a specific muscle group. So because of this, each day I go to the gym, even though I have a set schedule of what I'm trying to hit, and I have specific exercises that I'm trying to do for certain body parts, I do have the option of switching things out or adding depending on how I feel or what I want to train. So in today's video, I want to share with you guys 3 exercises that you can incorporate into your program right now if you're trying to build a bigger biceps peak. Now on some of these exercises, you guys are going to notice right away that I'm doing half reps, but we're doing half reps for a specific reason, and I'll get to that during the exercises. Also, one more thing before we get started. If you're here and you think that you can never improve your biceps because of your genetics, because you might have long bicep bellies, the short answer is you're wrong. You can always improve what you've got by focusing on lagging areas with specific exercises. Now, am I going to sit here and say that you're going to have better biceps peak than somebody with short muscle bellies? Maybe that might not happen, but any improvement is always good. And what I mean by that is, someone like me, I have short bicep bellies, okay? So when I flex my arm, I got a gap in between my bicep and my forearm. Some of you guys might have long bicep bellies. When you flex your arm like this, your bicep already hits your forearm. So that's the difference. The first exercise I want to share with you is a seated drag curl. And we've talked about seated curls before. I even did a video on it talking about how I thought that a seated barbell curl was a useless exercise. But that's the difference. We're doing a drag curl, not a seated barbell curl. A seated barbell curl, you're still putting your hands out in front of you like this and curling straight up and then back down. You're doing half of the range of motion. And in my opinion, if you're trying to do a barbell curl to target your biceps, you need the full range of motion. You need to push through that sticking point at the bottom. However, if your focus is gonna be the outer head of your biceps and we're gonna do a drag curl, when doing like a drag curl standing, the first half of the motion, it kind of just feels like you're pulling the weight up to your hips, and then from your hips to the top of the movement, that's when you really start to feel that stretch. Remember, the outer head of the bicep is the only head that crosses the shoulder joint. So if we're able to pull our elbows back like this, we're gonna get a much harder stretch at the top of the movement on the outer head. And you guys can do that right now. Just flex your arm like this, and then pull back. And as you pull back, you're gonna feel a lot more stretch and flex on that bicep outer head. So when doing the seated drag curl, guys, pull it in right to your body, and then instead of wasting time doing the exercise standing, where you're not really getting anything out of that bottom range of motion, you can increase the weight a bit more, and then from right here, you can pull straight up, flex, and then bring it back down. And just make sure that as you're doing this exercise, you're really focusing on pulling your elbows back as you bring your arms up, and you're keeping that barbell against your chest and against your torso the entire time. That's why it's called a drag curl. You want to drag it up and down. The second exercise is actually something I've never really recommended before, but after trying out the movement and doing a bit more research on it, I've realized that most people who showed me the exercise were doing it the incorrect way. So I want to explain to you guys exactly what to do to get the most out of this, and it's called a dumbbell plate curl. Now, the reason why it's called a dumbbell plate curl is because you traditionally want to use one of those dumbbells that's a bit more flat. I have hexagon dumbbells in my gym, which makes it a bit harder to get your hands underneath and keep them flat and parallel. So if you can find a different dumbbell or another alternative to keep your hands more flat, definitely do that, but you can still get away with using the hexagon. So the reason why this is a great exercise to help target the peak of your bicep or the outer head is for the same reason why the drag curl is. And that's because you're supposed to pull your elbow back to maximize the stretch on your outer head of your biceps. And now you can also utilize this exercise to get a bit more supination out of the movement as well. As you guys know, and I teach this all the time with my dumbbell curls, if you're doing a curl, you want to start off with your hand facing forward to be in supination of the forearm so you get maximum bicep engagement the entire time. If you're starting this way and then supinating halfway, you're only really recruiting as much bicep as possible halfway through the movement. I actually have a Versus series video on this. You guys can check it out. I'll post a link down below. But with this exercise, most people in the gym, unfortunately, they just see the movement as an up and down biceps curl. So you see a lot of this with the dumbbell in front of the body, okay? This is not targeting the outer head. I mean, granted, yeah, you are targeting the outer head and the inside head, right? Because you're doing a curl, but we're not targeting it the way we wanted to. We're not maximizing the effectiveness of the exercise. What you actually need to do is cup the dumbbell, then pull it to your body. And this is why this exercise is gonna look like a half rep as well. When you come down, you wanna keep your hands parallel to the floor. So you're only gonna be able to come down to about here. If you go any lower, then your hands aren't parallel to the floor anymore. The dumbbell will also likely slip out of your hands. So keep your hands parallel. They're gonna come down to about here max. Then as you come up, you're gonna pull your elbows back, almost like a drag curl, and bring the dumbbell up as hard as you can and flex your biceps. And if you do it right, you're gonna feel that outer head screaming and your forearms are gonna light up like crazy as well. And I have one more quick tip for this exercise to make it even more intense. So if you like torture, this is what you're gonna do. When you perform the movement, as you bring the dumbbell up, you're gonna hold it against your body like this. I want you to twist your elbows out a little bit. If you take a dumbbell right now and hold it against your body and start to turn your elbows out, you're gonna feel that outer head really start to light up. Because what are we doing? Well, essentially, we're doing this. When we come to the top of the movement and we twist our wrist for more supination, you feel that outer head activate? Well, that's what we're doing here, except instead of twisting our wrist, we're essentially doing the same thing by pushing our elbow out, okay? I mean, even with no weight, and I do this, you feel that flex. So give it a shot, let me know what you think. So the third exercise is a dumbbell hammer curl. And now you guys have done this exercise traditionally by curling out in front of your body. And now we know that the dumbbell hammer curl places more emphasis on the brachialis, okay, which is right here in the center of your arm. And it also hits the brachioradialis as well. Reverse curls a bit more, but you're gonna feel that area start to light up when you perform your reps. Now, we can alter this exercise to still hit the brachialis, but also target more outer head or more of the outer head of the biceps by, instead of curling out in front of our body like this, by turning into the side and curling this way. But just be mindful, guys, because it's a lot more than going from this way to just curling inside like this. You do need to pay attention. Once again, we want to feel that stretch on the outer head. And the way we can do that is by, instead of just curling in front of our body this way, we can pull our elbow back a bit and we can curl almost like into our armpit. And if you start to do this movement, again, you can even do it with no weight. Curl like this, curl here, pull your elbow back, versus curling here. You're gonna feel a big difference in how much of your outer head of your bicep is being targeted or how much of that stretch and flex you feel throughout the entire movement. And now for a few quick bonus tips before I let you go. Number one, please show your support. Go down, tap that like button. YouTube loves to screw me on the algorithm. I got 2.3 million subscribers, but like 10,000 of you get the actual notification. So let's show YouTube who's the real boss. Smash that like button and let's see if we can hit 8,000 likes on this video. And now for the actual bonus tip. When you guys incorporate these movements into your workout, just pick one, but make sure you still have a bicep specific movement. And what I mean by that is, if this were my workout, I would still do a traditional barbell biceps curl with a neutral grip on the bar to activate my biceps. I'm not necessarily trying to increase my mind-muscle connection before doing this movement, although if you need to do that, it wouldn't be a bad idea. You can use some lighter weight to do that. But if I'm trying to work on a lagging area, and in this case, it's the outer head and the biceps peak, I don't want to get into the habit of just doing some of these movements that involve half reps, okay? For maximum activation of the biceps heads, both of them, you need full range of motion, and an exercise like a barbell curl, in my opinion, is a great place to start. And then from there, I would either go into the seated drag curl, the dumbbell plate curl, or the hammer curl variation that I showed you. As for sets and reps, I would keep it simple. 3 sets, 8 to 10 repetitions per exercise. Obviously, when doing the hammer curls, make sure you do 8 to 10 reps per side. And if you guys have any questions about these movements, or if you want to ask a more specific question of how to incorporate it into your workout, you can comment down below with your workout that you're doing in the gym, and I'll do my best to respond and help you fill in the gap. Be sure to click subscribe if you want to see more great content like this. And to be honest with you guys, I plan on starting to make more videos in this format. This is how I used to do it back in the day, and I really want to start getting back to my roots because that's when I had the most fun with my channel. So comment below, let me know if you like this format, and for those of you who need a full-length program to go to the gym right now, you don't have a lot of money, in fact, maybe you have $0, okay? Click the link over here, download my Guaranteed Gains program. It's 100% free, and if you need any help with the program, it's available for free on my website, which means you can comment and leave questions there, and I will personally help you out and help you get on track. See you guys next time.